Political Science 5th Unit 2, and the topic is World War. In the World War, the Eastern Front. On the Eastern Front of World War I, Russian forces invaded the German held regions of East Prussia and Poland, but were stopped short by German and Austrian forces at a Battle of Tannenberg in late August 1914. Despite that victory, Russians' assault had forced Germany to move two corps from the Western Front to the Eastern, contributing to the German loss in the Battle of the Marne. Combined with the fierce Allied resistance in France, the ability of Russia's war mission to mobilize relatively quickly in the East ensured a longer, more growing conflict. Instead of the quick victory Germany had hoped to win under the Schlieffen Plan. Read the Russian Revolution. From 1914 to 1916, Russia's army mounted several offensives on World War I's Eastern Front, but was unable to break through German lines. Defeat on the battlefield, combined with economic instability and the scarcity of food and other essentials, led to mounting discontent among the bulk of Russia's population, especially the poverty-stricken workers and peasants. This increased hostility was directed towards the imperialism of Czar Nicholas II and his unpopular German warm wife Alexandra. Russians simmering instantly exploited in the Russian Revolution of 1917. America enters World War I. At the outbreak of fighting in 1914, the United States remained on the sidelines of World War I, adopting the policy of neutrality favored by President Woodrow Wilson, while continuing engage in commerce and shipping with European countries on both sides of the conflict. Neutrality, however, was increasing difficulty to maintain in the face of Germany's unchecked submarine aggression against neutral ships, including those carrying passengers. In 1915, Germany declared the waters surrounding the British Isles to be a war zone, and German U-boats sunk several commercial and passenger vessels, including some US ships. Widespread protested over the sinking by U-boat of the British ocean liner Lusitania, traveling from New York to Liverpool, England, with hundreds of American passengers on board. In May 1915, helped turn the tide of American public opinion against Germany. In February 1917, Congress passed a million arms appropriates bill intended to make the United States ready for war. Germany sunk 4 more US merchant ships the following month, and on April 2, Woodrow Wilson appeared before Congress and called for a declaration of war against Germany. Gallipoli campaign. With World War I having effectively settled into a stalemate in Europe, the Allies attempted to score a victory against the Ottoman Empire, which entered the conflict on the side of the Central Powers in late 1914. After a failed attack on the Dardanelles, Allied forces led by Britain launched a large-scale land invasion of the Gallipoli Peninsula in April 1915. The invasion also proved a dismal failure, and in January 1916, Allied forces staged a full retreat from the shores of the peninsulas after suffering 250,000 casualties. Battle of the Asonjo. The first battle of the Asonjo took place in the late spring of 1915, soon after Italy's entrance into the war on the Allied side. In the 12th Battle of the Asonjo, also known as the Battle of Caporetto, German reinforcements helped Austria-Hungary with a decisive victory. After Caporetto, Allies jumped into offer increased assistance. British and French and later American troops arrived in the region, and the Allies began to take back the Italian front. World War I at sea. In the years before World War I, the superiority of Britain's Royal Navy was unchallenged by any other nation's fleet, but the Imperial German Navy had made substantial strides in closing the gap between the two naval powers. Germany's strength on the high seas was also aided by its lethal fleet of U-boat submarines. After the Battle of Dogger Bank in January 1915, in which the British mounted a surprise attack on German ships in the North Sea, the German Navy chose not to confront Britain's mighty Royal Navy in a major battle for more than a year, preferring to rest the bulk of its naval strategy on its U-boats. The biggest naval engagement of World War I, the Battle of Jutland in May 1916, left British naval superiority on the North Sea intact, and Germany would make no further attempts to break an Allied naval blockade for the remainder of the war. World War One planes. World War One was the first major conflict to harness the power of planes. Though not as impactful as the British Royal Navy or Germany's U-boats, the use of planes in World War One precised the latter pivotal role in military conflicts around the globe. At the dawn of World War One, aviation was a relatively new field. The Wright brothers took their first sustained flight just 11 years before in 1903. Aircrafts were initially used primarily for reconnaissance missions. During the First Battle of the Marne, information passed from pilots allowed the aliens to exploit weak spots in the German lines, helping the Allies to push Germany out of France. The first mission guns were successfully mounted on planes in June 1912 in the United States, but were imperfect. It timed incorrectly. A bullet could easily destroy the propeller of the plane it came from. The Marine, the French plane, provided a solution. The propeller was armored with deflector wedges that prevented bullets from hitting it. The Morlane, a Dutch inventor, Anthony Fokker, improved upon the French deflector system in 1915. He interrupted firing of the guns with the plane's propeller to avoid collisions.